to see you all. My name is Rajeev, Masand. I used to be a film critic. I don't do that job now, but this was an incredible opportunity to be here with you guys. This is the most energetic player. She is one of India's finest actors. She's someone who broke the glass ceiling literally. When she made films like Ishqiya, Kahani, Dirty Picture, Pa, she put the woman front and center of the story in commercial mainstream films, which was not happening until then.
Hi everyone. Oh my God, this is so exciting. Thank you for such a warm welcome and thank you for all that you said, Rajeev.
Thank you, Vidya. You know I mean every word.
Can I give you a hug on stage? Just so it looks like we did meet backstage.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Vidya, so it turns out I was told by Dean of Student Affairs that you've been to Moodai as a student many years ago.
I've been to Moodai as a student and I have to tell you that there was this boy I liked. And
this is getting interesting.
Thankfully, who liked me back, and I remember I bumped into him here, and we had a sort of a date. Also, when Kavita Krishnamurthy were performing, well, I was too. And then I came here just before the pandemic.
Correct, I believe so.
Yeah. And I'm so happy to be here. But I have to tell you, Rajeev, every time I come here, this place looks different.
Right. I've only been here once before. It was incredible. That energy is just unmissable. So guys, show that energy, yeah?
That's the reason I keep coming back.
Apparently, when you were a student, when you came here as a student to Moodai, Maggie Bonda is something I'm told you were a fan of.
Yes, you know, they had a Maggie stall, and we were of course here all night, right?
Yeah.
Moodai went on into the wee hours of the morning. So everyone was hungry and they said, "Arey, you have to try this." First of all, there was a Maggie stall, so you could get the yummiest Maggie. I don't know what they put here that's different from. And then they made these Maggie bondas, and of course you got Nescafe also, and it was just yummy. Never before, never after have I had the Maggie bonda.
Is it still there, guys? Is it still
Do you
there?
still get the Maggie bonda?
No, sadly.
I told you things have changed. But what hasn't changed is your enthusiasm, so thank you for that.
You know, Vidya, recently I was asked to write a piece for India Today, their anniversary issue. They asked me to write about the 10 greatest actresses of Hindi cinema in the last 75 years. And of course, I wrote about you. The thing of course, but you know, you want to find something interesting to say about each person. And that's when I realized I was kind of doing a little bit of a deep dive. And what struck me is that you've been the every woman. You've played characters that feel completely relatable, that feel completely real, like you know these people, whether it's the mother in Jalsa, whether it's the woman in Kahani. Even though you're playing the every woman, you manage to make it different in each character. Because an everyone is a broad term, it could very easily be an overlap, they could bleed into each other's. What is the trick to making each character different, even when you're playing someone that could be the woman next door?
I feel that each one of us is unique, right? So when you say, when you use the blanket term housewife for someone, it's not like every housewife is the same as another. Everyone has an individuality. So I think that's what I tap into, but more importantly, I have to say that it's the kind of scripts and directors that she can be the every woman, or she is the every woman, but every woman is an individual, and that's so in Tumhari Sulu, when I played Tumhari Sulu, I had not played anyone like her, but I knew so many women, I still do, who are like Sulu.
You know, Vidya, because we're talking to a room full of students, I also want to find things that will be interesting to them specifically. How do you feel that your education sort of helps you in your role, in your profession as an actor, your sort of professional education?
I have to tell you that, you know, when I was in college, and in my very first year, when I was in the 11th standard at Xavier's, I got my first opportunity in a TV show. As in, of course, I applied because Xavier's, they put up a board in Xavier's where they said, looking for, you know, young talent to be part of a college campus serial. The show was called Lavelas and never saw the light of day. But I started acting then, so at some point when I started getting more work in television, I told my parents, listen, let me just do this through correspondence and I'll be fine, I don't want to be, why should I go to college? And they said, I remember my mother's words, she said, if you want to stay in this house, you have to go to college and get your degree. What you learn in class, being in school or college, it's what you learn outside. It's how you learn to work with people, how you learn to deal with disappointment and failure and jealousy and, as much as you learn to deal with success and wins. So, I think I'm so grateful I completed my BA at St. Xavier's. I actually went on to do my MA at Bombay University. But that's really non-negotiable, I feel. Because my mother told me that, there's a lifetime for you to work. You'll be able to work at any age, but you won't be able to go back to college and live this, experience. It's not about the experience of being in college. I was 2009, I was 31 and he was 67.
Wow.
And firstly I thought Bharti was mad.
Yeah.
I said, ऐसा कौन लिखता है? ये क्या कहानी है? But then, actually, this was when he narrated me the idea. When I read it, I was like, oh my God, I want to do it. But as we started approaching the shoot, I remember calling Bharti and saying, I want time with Mr. Bachchan. I want to sit with him, I want to read. So that I'm not intimidated. It's here was a situation where I'm playing his mother, so any kind of awkwardness or it could be, right? Because I had to say things to him mothers talk to their children differently. Us डांट में भी प्यार होता है, उस प्यार में भी डांट होती है. So I was like, how am I going to do this? So I remember suddenly one morning I was out shopping and Balki called me and said, okay, we're doing a look test with Mr. Bachchan today, just come to his house at so and so time and I'm getting the costume designer to come and we'll just do some pictures with you, Mr. Bachchan and Abhishek. I was like, okay. I landed up there and Abhishek and I had worked together before in a room. So we were just chatting and having fun and everything, and in walked someone and I look and then I did a double take. I think I went through something that was, I can't describe it. In walked Oro. Amitabh Bachchan was nowhere to be seen. And my job was done. I remember Balki said, then we did some pictures with Abhishek, Mr. Bachchan and me, and then Balki said, so do you want a reading? I said, no, I don't. You can do it. Because I felt maternal towards him. That's the power of an Amitabh Bachchan. Something, he was, is, and will always be my favoritist. My biggest inspiration. So, and then in the scenes, it wasn't difficult. I never met him as Mr. Bachchan during the shoot, ever. I only met him in makeup, and that helped.